And now, for reason 621, why nostalgia does not dictate whether games are good or bad. Goldeneye 007. Now, first off, let me just say this. Now, this game isn't that great. It's aged horribly. It's just bad. I mean, there have been much better games that have come out since then. And not just that, but even for its time, this game wasn't that innovative. Quake and other games were better. So how overrated is this game? Let's take a look, shall we? Number one thing you notice, this game hasn't aged that well. The graphics, they look bad. Now, I'm talking about this on the real hardware. If you use Project 64, it looks even worse because the skybox is completely missing. So basically, the graphics, well, they look like, imagine if the Quake engine had a lot of slowdown. Imagine if the Quake engine ran at 1 FPS. Imagine trying to play Quake on a 486. That's what this is like. Because seriously, look at that amazing low frame rate. The textures too. The textures in this game, because the n64 has really shitty texture memory, they actually had to really cut the textures down, and it's pretty obvious because it looks like absolute shit, because apparently the Nintendo 64, they cheaped out, and it didn't have very good texture RAM. So, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty primitive, even for a 1997 FPS. In 1997, you had games with ducking, jumping, crouching, and of course, you could look around. This game, you can look around, but it's really clunky. It feels more like your average Doom clone. I mean, you probably played Doom, right? Yeah, it feels like Doom 1. Just with sniping. And the sniping is incredibly slow and clunky because the n64 happens to have the world's shittiest analog stick. You'll be thinking with the controls just to try to aim. If you look down, you have to use the D-pad, which is clunky and awkward, especially when you're trying to make shots. And of course, the weapon menu. Unlike even newer shooter games with tons of weapons, instead of pushing D-pad to select or pressing a button to swap between two, this game has a whole bunch of weapons you cycle with one button, so you're cycling a while just to get to one weapon. And of course, it doesn't help that when you're playing this game, you have to, do this stupid thing called reload. It's like you have a button for insta reload, and by the way, all the weapons use the same ammo in the game. It's like if Doom, but you could reload a BFG just by shooting a bunch of enemies, just by picking up pistol ammo. Yeah, this game has oversimplified ammo systems, but even though you'd think they'd use different ammo to jack the skill up, it also has multiple objectives, which doesn't matter because you can just run in a straight line and do them easily. And like I said, the frame rate sucks balls. This is being played on the real hardware to remind you. In the story, there's not really much of one. The music is okay-ish, but it's not that great, really just generic doo-doo-doo-doo James Bond music. So all in all, what do I think about this game? Well, it's meh. Don't buy it. If you are living in 2012 and not living in the 90s where everything is, oh my god, so cool, it's Nintendo. If you're not like that, don't buy this game. Because, and then, even if this game was influential, it wasn't, because Quake came out several years before. That was more influential than this. Half-Life 1 came out like a year or two before, a year after this. And that game looked much better, of course, because it was on the PC. It was far more influential. It's just, many games were just better than this. It also has a 4-player deathmatch mode, which is clunky, not fun at all, really slow-paced. just split screen, not even online or system link. But then again, the n64 couldn't do that. Runs at a shitty frame rate, not fun. All in all, this game's aged horribly. Don't buy. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. And by the way, I got Black Ops 2. That game is really fun. And it shows how far FPSs have come. And yeah, you know a game's not that good when the only good part is you can shoot people taking a dump. Why are you playing this game? Go play a better game, because... And don't pull the stupid Call of Duty is the same game excuse. Because really, if you're going to pull that, have you even played Black Ops 2? That is all. Because Call of Duty complaints about being the same game each year are just as repetitive as most Nintendo games. They're repetitive. We get it. You think Call of Duty sucks. Go do it on another video, because honestly, it's getting old at this point. That is all.